Hello, guys. Here we are on a Sunday evening, and we are ready to read a little bit. I hope you guys are ready. I cannot stay as long as yesterday. I hope you enjoyed the show yesterday. Oh, no, no. What are you doing, Molly? Okay, bye. I love you so much. That's my baby. You know, I'm gonna come later to your life. I know you have one later. It's at 9 o'clock for me. I know we have time difference, but you know I'm gonna be there tonight. Hello. Yeah, hi guys. Let me know what you guys are reading. I have finished this book that I did not enjoy, so we're just gonna forget it happened. And I managed to read Lock and Key Volume 4. Loved it. 5 out of 5, as always. So I think today in the live, I'm going to be reading The House on Abigail Lane because it's a very creepy horror story. It's a novella, so it's kind of short. So I should be able to finish it. And it's about this house that when people go upstairs for 60 years, everybody that goes upstairs vanishes, goes missing. They leave behind a ring, an eyeball, whatever it is, and nobody knows what happens to those people. So I'm really excited. I love kind of haunted houses stories. Absolutely love. This cover is so cute. Love it. So that's where I'm going to be reading today. Yes, what are you guys reading? I cannot stay too long today, but we can do some reading sprints for like around 3 hours today. And then I'm going to be going over to Molly's live just to chat there, to keep reading tonight. And probably we'll end up the night watching My Bloody Valentine, the remake. I rewatched the original from 81 yesterday. Oh, you finished Dear Laura. How was it? Let me know. What rating did you give it? Because I really want to check out that novella. I'll be starting The Five Turns of the Wheel by Stephanie Ellis today. Ooh, good luck with that one. Nice. We like productivity. We like. What do you mean you don't know, Molly? What do you mean? Let me know if you need help deciding. Maybe you want to go for. Well, you said you wanted to grab some thrillers for this weekend. So maybe a thriller if you have not read any yet this weekend. That will be an option. That will be an option. Um, so And I'm also reading still The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. Loving it still so much. So I hope to finish this one tonight as well. But definitely gonna start the novella in a minute when we do our first sprint because I've been so curious about this novella. Oh yeah, I saw you posting that on Twitter. You gave it 4, if I remember correctly. So it means that we should check it out. Nice. So, what are you in the mood for right now? Like, what are the options? I'm going to be reading Darling Rose Gold. Oh, yeah, the film Run. So I can watch the film with my partner tonight and be prepared for the creepy mom trope. That movie is so good. I mean, you can see some of the reveals coming. It's kind of predictable at some point, but the acting is just so good and the story is just perfect. Loved it so much. So I hope you guys have fun with that one. I gave it 4.5 out of 5. Oh, that's good. I have a hard time reading novellas since I'm fairly new to them. I'm used to big chunky books. You know what? I also started reading novellas in 2020, to be honest. Like I was not reading so many, but there are a lot in the horror genre. And I think horror sometimes works better if it's a novella. Some horror stories I feel like when they try to make this chunky book, it doesn't have the same impact depending on the story. And I'm loving horror novellas so much. So this year I'm buying more and I'm reading more horror novellas. I'm starting a buddy reading my sprint, so I might just read a graphic novel for now. That's also a good choice. That's also a good choice. You can also do something else, be productive if it's not reading and you want to wait for your sprints. Whatever works for you. I don't want to force anybody. The reading sprints is just to be productive, to do something in those like 20-minute sprints. So if you don't want to pick a book, you have something else to do, feel free to do that. The important thing is we're doing something productive. If you have to do something for your college, your class, whatever it is, then you do you. I'm just trying to catch up with my reading, and reading sprints help me so much. I discovered my love of reading sprints thanks to Molly, because I started watching her sprints last year and I was obsessed. And just watched them all the time. And I decided this year I wanted to do it myself as well. So, hi, Andreas. What are you reading today? Let me know. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why you do this to me? I'm gonna get like all blushing in the live. Well, thank you, Molly, for that. I'm just gonna go straight from here to watch your sprints later. I was already planning on it. That's why I'm keeping this reading sprint to only 3 hours, so I don't miss so much from yours, because I really enjoy them. And I still get to read later, so it's perfect. Oh, yeah. So I'll say at 10 past, maybe we start our first 20 minutes. Ooh. I love that. I love when we just make each other buy more books. We love that. It's really awesome also, because I've got so many like book recommendations from watching other people's lives, and now starting to do my own lives. Like I get so many awesome recommendations, so it's perfect. And we can also help each other to find books and movies that we would like to check out. So today's just me. Yesterday I had Kayla as a guest, but today's just me, just plain me. And well, Lilith is here, my cat. She's already passed out. Let me see if I can. So this is Lilith. This is my baby. She's not amused. No? Okay. No? Okay. I still love you though. You're my Valentine today. Mm? Okay. Ashamed Marge me when Molly says something cute. You guys, I cannot deal with compliments or with presents. I'm like the worst. When I was a kid and my parents would give me presents, I was like ashamed and embarrassed to open them. Like, it's not rational, but it is what it is. So I don't know. I don't know how to deal with it. I just came from sprinting the whole day on Maddie's channel. Wow. Well, after we finish this one, Molly is gonna do more reading sprints, so you can just keep going for the whole day. That's perfect. You get some productivity done today. Awesome. So it is 10 past. So I think we're gonna sprint now for 20 minutes. Let's share screen. All right, and I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Okay, we're back, and I made it 31 pages into it. It's fairly easy to read, so that's nice. And it starts to tell you the story where this old man went upstairs and disappeared one day, but nobody really thought that it was the house that was to blame. They thought he maybe was part of some organization, like secret, whatever, and disappeared. But then years later, a family moved in and a kid disappeared. And 2 years later, the father disappeared. And we're gonna get to the point where we need explanations, we need answers. So far I'm following the next family that it's moved into the house, and we shall see what happens to them. But the first person that disappeared left behind an eyeball, and the father, when he left behind his wedding ring. So that's great. Let me see. I just came from sprinting. Yep, we got that one. I started to read Dark Carnival. Yeah, you mentioned that one yesterday. I remember. So far, it's good. She also published her first novel under the moniker Joe Kaplan recently. Oh yeah, Joe Kaplan. I that name says more to me. I'm a reproductive. What do you mean? I just read a lame bed all day. That's productive. That's productive. That's good. I kind of wish I could do that most of the days, but I do have a full time job. So I just drank a coffee and it's 7 p.m. here. So I'm going to be watching every freaking reading sprint on YouTube today. That's the spirit. Now I'm in the ashamed Marge me. Nice. That's going to be my nickname now. Wow, that's fast. Sounds interesting. That went so quickly. I know. Sometimes I'm doing lives and I'm like, what do you mean we've been 3 hours here? What's happening? Is this a Twilight Zone? I just watched a YouTube video. That's fair. That's also good. It's good to catch up. I myself have to catch up always with so many videos from people that I'm subscribed to. I feel like I don't have the time sometimes to catch up with all the amazing videos. And then some days I just binged all of them like a psycho, like a stalker. I just go and be like, okay, I haven't checked out this person's videos. Let's open all of them and let's go through them. So yeah, it happens. I try to be productive most of the day, but I have a full-time job. I have two YouTube channels, and I have to take care of everything in the house. I live with animals, so you can imagine how it is. You have so many Funko Pops. I do. Just a few. Just a few over there to the top, to the bottom that you cannot see. Plus there are Funko Pops in all the shelves, like bookshelves and movie shelves, and yeah, it got slightly out of control, but we're just embracing it. It's okay. I'm not buying so many anymore until I move to a house so that I can better plan. But I have decided I'm only going to buy mostly horror Funko Pops, which are my favorites, because when I started collecting Funko Pops, they were not releasing so many waves as they are doing now. I started collecting them like 5 years ago maybe, and I feel like now they're just throwing out there as many Funko Pops as they can every month, and it's gotten a little bit ridiculous. So I have to be selective. you know so Molly, are you gonna read a graphic novel now, or are you gonna keep catching up with YouTube? Let me know. I want to know which graphic novel you wanted to check out. I think I saw you posted something. Was it about Paper Girls? I haven't read that series. Is it good? Is it good? Oh, let me see. Do you guys collect Funko Pops? Do you have any at all? Is it only me that I'm obsessed? Is it just me? I don't know. Maybe. That's good. Oh, you're already in volume 4. Nice. I just saw there's a series of Janji Ito Funko Pops. Yeah, I keep seeing the new horror Funko Pops, but I cannot spend too much money right now in Funko Pops because first of all, I need to see what my dentist costs are going to be this week. And also, I want to save up for moving because moving is expensive. So I don't want to go all out there, but I'm seeing so many horror pops. I do want to get the ones from Dracula because Dracula is one of my favorite movies. So I'm going to have to get those. Yeah, I might try Paper Girls if you love it. I might try that one. I have a few. Yeah, some people manage to just have a few. Like when I bought the first one, it just got out of control slightly. I didn't read anything after yesterday's reading sprints. I really needed the sprints today. Well, I'm happy that it's helping. What are you reading today? Let me know. I want to collect Funko Pops when I have my own place. I have a Pennywise one and a couple at my uni house. Yeah, I have a lot of Pennywises, but I also feel like when you start, it's so addictive that it's nice if you already have your own space. So, I mean, you can still get a couple more. But yeah, it's just so easy to get them. They are not extremely expensive and they are really addictive. You have Belle, two Harry Potter characters, Annabelle, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Superman, Batman, Iron Man, and Suki from True Blood. I started collecting all the Harry Potter Funko Pops, even though we're not supporting that franchise anymore. So I'm not buying any more Harry Potter Funko Pops unless it's secondhand or, anything like that. So I'm not going to be purchasing any more Harry Potter Pops, but I do still have a lot from the ones that I had purchased before, the drama. So I have a few Game of Thrones ones. I have two or three, I think, only from Game of Thrones. Just my favorite characters. Junji Ito Funko Pops. I might not be able to resist now. I know that's a problem. They have been releasing nearly anything you can imagine. So of course, there's going to be something there that you like, and then when you start, there is no coming back. I'm still reading Hex. Totally in love with it. Amazing. I'm so happy that you're enjoying that book because I personally really liked it too. But I don't want to collect them because I will get addicted to them and I got no money or space for it. I know. When I bought the first one, I have seen like thumbnails from my old videos and I had like 3 boxes of Funko Pops. And now I'm like, oops. What happened? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But it's not just me. People started giving me Funko Pops also as presents, and they feed my addiction as well. So it's not just my fault. But they are very, very addicted. My first Funko Pop was the Gremlin from Gremlins, and I didn't even know what Funko Pops were. I just found it at a convention, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cute. I'm gonna buy it." And then I realized that it was a Funko Pop, and yeah, then you know what happened. I also got the ones from Jaws, but I only got the shark because it was so cute. I could not resist. But yeah, there are too many. There's just too many out there. So we're gonna sprint soon. Sing at 20 past. So to keep, I won't go that way. I'm very bad with collecting things. It will cause me stress because I want to have them all, especially the limited ones. Yeah, I was like that at the beginning when I only had a couple. I was stressing because I wanted to have, specific waves complete and all of that. But I'm not stressing right now. I'm just collecting the ones that I can find. There are some that I really, really, really want and I try to get them, but I'm not completely stressing out anymore. I'm just accepting I cannot have them all, like with books or anything else that I collect. This kid, I'm gonna buy it is how I ended up with all my collections. Same. Same. Yeah, especially when I went like to events and conventions that are not happening right now, but it's so easy to just buy the things. It's yeah, so it's kind of actually a good thing that right now I'm not going to conventions because I'm not buying any more collectibles at the moment, at least not many. All right, so let's share screen, and we're going to do another 20-minute sprint so that everybody can get some reading done since we all need it apparently. All right, let's go, and I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Let's do it. Hold on. Reset. Okay. And we're back. I made it to page 64. So it's going quickly and I'm enjoying it. We are kind of exploring a little bit in general, haunted houses because this house started making people vanish in the late 50s and then the late 70s came and the whole Amityville cases happened. So haunted houses were hyped. There was a hype, and so a lot of people were interested in this specific house in Abigail Lane. So, really enjoying it so far. Okay, let's see where we were. I decided I only want to get obsessed with my animals, so that's the only thing I spend a lot of money on. Yeah, my animals are also spoiled. I also say I work so that my cats can have a nice life. And that is true. I might get the Professor Hulk Funko Pop with fuzzy pink bunny slippers. That sounds amazing. I decided to only get like one Marble Pop per character or something because they're releasing so many. Whoop whoop. How's my baby doing? How's my beautiful Molly? I'm at page 226, but I don't know how much I've read. Yeah, I know. I have read, I think, again, around 30 pages. It's just really easy to fly through this one. There are other books that I need to read slower. Like I mentioned yesterday with The Sundown Motel, I'm reading this one way slower. It's not because it's a bad book or it's not entertaining. I just need more time to enjoy and digest it. But I'm really loving that one. So I'm going to jump straight to that one when I finish the novella. And now a third of the way through my book. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you're enjoying that book because I really liked it. I don't see too many people reading Hex, and I would like the book to get more love because I thought it was a nice, creepy, not so conventional witch story. Mm. Oh, nonfiction. I read some nonfiction. Paperback Crash, a total radical history of 80s and 90s teen fiction reminds me of my youth, similar to paperbacks from hell. I've seen some of those compilations and I absolutely love them, especially the older ones from 70s to 90s. Love them. So I'm gonna have to check this one out because why not some 90s and 80s teen fiction? I'm all for that as well. I liked Hex. It wasn't my favorite though. Well, at least you liked it. I know from people that did not like it at all, and I'm like, why? Because I thought it was like special in a way. But not everybody has to love it. But let me tell you one thing, Molly. I love the night circus. Mic drop. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Mm, I'm 30 pages in. It's still the setup for the story. The mysterious carnival has been mentioned that might have taken the main character's mother. Ooh. I love carnivals in books. I love it. I love anything that has to do with that. Sounds amazing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Mm. Every time I heard you in your lives praising the night circus, I was like, yes. I still have not read the new book, but I own it. So I'm kind of excited for that one, The Starless Sea. But yeah, I really love the night circus and I picked it up before I even started booktube. I just saw it at a secondhand store and the cover called to me and I picked it up and I loved it so much. The night circus is amazing. Yes, it is. I also love the Starless Sea. I still have not checked it out, but I do own a copy. I got the nice pretty copy, although it was a bit complicated for me in English. Yeah, I feel like, through the years, it's easier for me to really read faster in English, but I also struggled at the beginning for sure. I haven't read the Starless Sea either. Ooh, ooh. I'm excited. I don't know what's gonna happen when we do. I'm hoping I'm gonna love it because I've heard mixed reviews, of course, about that one. Yeah, hello. Mm. I have the same thing with Addie LaRue, or as it's called in Molly's channel, Addie the Street. And I'm waiting to read that one as well. I'm really excited, but also a bit scared to start it because I've enjoyed so far everything from B Shrub, and I know that Addie LaRue is sad and it's different, so I'm kind of hoping I'm gonna love it though. I love both the Night Circus and the Starless Sea. I really want to reread the Starless Sea because it's so complex and I feel like I missed a lot. I want to read as well the Night Circus again, like to annotate, to really like dive into it, because the first time I read the Night Circus, I just benched it, and I feel like I would like to go back and revisit it. So I kind of have the same feeling you're getting now with the Starless Sea. Addie LaRue's fabulous. I'm hoping, because I really love V Shrub. I love Addie LaRue, but I wish there was more fantasy in it. I don't know too much about the book. I only know that this woman made this specific pact and I know what it is, but that's it. And I kind of have tried not to see any reviews because I would like to jump into it not knowing way too much. I think my favorite V Shrub book so far has been Vicious. I've really enjoyed Vicious a lot. So I know it's completely different. I've heard the writing style is different. And so people that didn't like her previous works like Addie LaRue. So we shall see. After yesterday's EVILATHON, I bought Tender in the Flesh. Ooh, that one is also on my list, which Maggie read and put things in jars into my car. I also have put things in jars into in the top of my wish list since yesterday. I also bought Eric Hofstadter's new novella Punishment by Hope. See, these lives are good for us spending money on books. I love that for us. Yeah, it's amazing, but I thought it was like fantasy and it's more contemporary for me. Still, it's really good. All I know is that she travels. I don't know if she travels through time or something because I think she made this pact to be, not to die, you know, to be immortal. So I'm not really sure, but we will see when the time comes. Are we reading at 10 past? Yes, we are. And then you can walk the dog. Poor baby. It needs to wait. Yeah, my cats also need to be fed, but they have to wait also until the live is over. Yeah, that's what happens. Just one more minute, and then we're gonna go to the next sprint. So I'm probably gonna finish the novella, and then I'm just gonna jump back into the Sundown Motel, which, if the ending ends up being awesome, I am going to buy more things by the author because I really like the writing style. So I'm just waiting for that ending to see if it's going to be okay. Because sometimes, you're loving a book so much, and when the end comes, especially for thrillers, sometimes it's disappointing. So I'm waiting to finish. I fed my furry monsters already. I only gave them a little treat so that they can hold on until I finish the live. I love your shirt. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got this one. I don't know. I think when I was in Spain visiting my parents and I saw it and I'm like, yes, please. So it's already 10 past. So we are going to start the next sprint, you guys. Okay, let's go and I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. And we're back. And yes, I finished. It's not that long. It's a total of 95 pages. So it's not that bad. So it's around 30 pages per sprint. But it's kind of an easy read. I enjoyed it. I was just expecting to see a little bit more of gore, perhaps. To see a little bit more of blood, but it was really interesting. It's more kind of like an exploration on haunted houses and how they become haunted houses, how they get talked about, and things like that as well. So it does go a little bit more into the kind of investigation, paranormal thing more than the killings and the gore and the slashing. So I was missing a little bit of that, splashes of blood I was missing. But apart from that, it was enjoyable. I want to pick by this author the novel Kin because I heard it's really disturbing and messed up. So I was like, yes, please. And so I think that's the next thing I'm going to read by the author. Nice. Have a nice walk with the doggy. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was a novella, so I knew I was going to finish soon-ish. That's why I like to read novellas also on the reading sprints, because then if I'm live, then I can give you guys my thoughts on them in case that you're interested in picking them up because they are easy to finish. But I'm excited now to go back to the Sundown Motel, which came out last year, and it was on the list of books that I wanted to read, and I didn't. So I had to catch up now. And in this one, let me see where we are. We are in page 202. So I think between my sprints and the ones I'm going to do later, I will finish this baby today. I read Sour Candy, but I didn't love it. That is also a very short novella by him. I've seen that one as well, but I really want to try Kin because I think it's going to be very, very messed up. Just finishing up volume 5 of Paper Girls. I thought I was on volume 4. I was incorrect. That is fine. But that's good. That's good. Well, or bad, because it means there's not many volumes left, which is also sad. Kellen Patrick Burke often seems to pick ideas typical of the 70s, but his writing seems to be influenced by Stephen King. Yeah, I mean, this one is definitely influenced by the Amityville horror, definitely, and it's even mentioned here, and they also mentioned the Winchester house. So it's, I guess, his love of haunted houses in history a little bit in a packed in a little novella of under 100 pages. You can see a difference to 70s horror novels that were written before Stephen King. Totally, totally. Like, you can hate Stephen King, you can like him, you can love him, but you cannot deny that Stephen King changed the horror genre when it comes to books, and that is fact. So for that, he should be respected. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like his books, and that is fine. His writing is not for everybody, his characters are not for everybody, but he is an important figure in the horror book community, and that's fact. So I'm glad that when I was too young to read Stephen King, people gave me Stephen King books. Yeah, that's what started my love for horror. So, and horror movies that I watched also when I was too young, but that's okay. Hmm. Oh, yeah. What do you guys love to read? Do you like older books from the 70s and 80s and all of those older paperbacks, or do you rather more modern, well, not just horror, but like any genre that you like to read? There's always a difference between the older ones and the new ones. For me, it depends on the writing style. I'm discovering now a lot of like older books and authors that I enjoy, like I think he's called Andrew Niderman, that wrote Brainchild. I really love that book, and it's from 1981, I think. So it's also like a really early 80s book. and I loved it so much. And I'm definitely going to pick up more things by the author. I think he's also the one that kept writing as VC Andrews after she passed away. So the newest VC Andrew books are written actually by him. All kinds depends on my mood. Yeah, I feel like I can read anything like old school horror and contemporary. Same goes for movies. I just rewatched, like I say, my Bloody Valentine from 1981, and that is super campy 80s Canadian horror. It doesn't have as many tropes as later on movies are gonna get. Like your typical slashers are gonna get really tropey by the mid end of the 80s. That's when it really starts. But this one from 81 still doesn't have all of those extreme tropes. So it's not perfect. It's a campy horror movie. But it was gory. It was so gory that it's one of the movies that got more minutes cut from the original um film because it was just too gory. But yeah, I really enjoyed both things, old school and modern stuff. So I'm just like discovering also so many authors I had no idea existed thanks to booktube. I'm so happy about the whole community because it's nice to share books that we love, and we discover so many different authors, old books, new books that we didn't know about. And definitely also when you leave somewhere like here in Germany where you don't get so much access to English books, so I cannot just go to the bookstore and see so many different English books. So booktube is super helpful for me to find things that I want to read. I read both new and old books, but I watch a lot more horror movies from the 70s and 80s than now. Yeah. I i was a fan of all kind of horror movies, but I feel like the last couple of years I've also been trying to catch up with a lot of old movies that I missed, because there are so many, and you always discover movies that you thought were original that are remakes, because nearly every movie has been remade at this point. And sometimes I'm like, oh, there was a movie from the 70s and I didn't know, and it's I've only seen the remake, so I try to look for also those older ones. And for books, I want to start trying at some point to collect all the point horror books that I missed, all the original Goosebumps books, because I never really owned them. Whenever I read any of those, I picked them up from the library when I was younger. So I would like to, grow a collection at some point of all of those old school paperbacks, YA books, middle grades, but also the paperbacks from hell. Those are really hard to get, but we'll see with time. We will make a nice collection, hopefully. I'm getting most of my older horror books secondhand when I can, because buy them new is impossible right now, and the new editions are not as nice. Like the covers from the older editions are just so much nicer. I love gory books, older and new. I'm a big fan of Hellraiser. That's correct. That's a good one. Horror is always cool, and I feel like 70s books and had fantastic plots. Yeah, I feel like also with movies and books, the things that were scary changed through time, and the way that certain scenes are shot are completely different. And it's just so interesting to go and revisit the classics. I love Hellraiser. My favorite movie is the second one, even though I know most people love the first one as their favorite. But for me, Julia in the second movie is everything. So I love the second movie. If you love gory books, I don't know, but if you haven't read the Island by David Sodergren, I think it's his name. That one was great for a lot of different horror genres, and it is intense. I loved it. It's so hard to fill in gaps in all horror paperbacks now that everything is closed, because the only luck I find. Yeah, for me it's even worse. I don't have here used bookstores. So all the old paperbacks I have to get them online, and it is expensive. But I try to find cheap used ones when I can. Yeah, the first one tends to be the favorite, and I understand. But I just have a soft spot for the second one. I don't know, because you get to see more of the Cenobites and where they live, and it's so cute. The second Hellraiser is my favorite too. One of the rare times the second one is better than the first for me. Same. Like I absolutely love the first one, and it's a masterpiece. Love it. But there is something about the second one that it's just like it's the one that I would always go to rewatch over and over again. All right, so it's 40 past. So I say we do another reading sprint. So let's share screen. Mhm. There we go. And I'll see you in 20 minutes. And that was the other sprint. We have still one more. My girl Molly has now went and started her sprints. Love you, Molly. I will go when I finish here to join your sprints. Keep reading. And back from walking the dog, and I'm going to join Molly and Emma sprints in a bit. Same. Thanks for the sprints, Kesha. I hope you do them more often. I would like to do it more often. I don't know, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. For me, it's always better on the weekends, but of course, people are busy on the weekends. So I just want to find the best day for everybody in a way and the best time because we all live in different places. Yeah, so this weekend was just because of the EVILATHON, but I do want to find a schedule that, everybody can look forward to and already plan. But yeah, I would like to do once or twice a month some reading sprints with you guys and talk about, horror books, horror movies, and everything. So I read around 20 pages of this book. Like I said, I'm reading a little bit more slow when it comes to this one, but I'm still really enjoying it. For everybody that was not here yesterday, um, the one that I am reading, I'm going to show you the cover. It's this one. I don't like to read my hardbacks with the dust jacket on. I don't like it. I read them naked. I like them naked. So it is the story of two girls that are related, and one of them is in the 80s, the other one is in 2017, and it's basically telling the story in parallel between them. Every chapter is it jumps from one girl to the other one, and they're both investigating the same thing. They're both investigating this hotel where people have disappeared, where accidents have happened, people have died, and they are both kind of interested in true crime and figure out what happened to these people. And they are, of course, getting into dangerous territory because they are getting perhaps too close to the person that is responsible for that. And when you do that, you might get yourself in trouble. So that's all I'm going to say. But I'm loving it. It's kind of slow paced in a way because it's giving you detailed explanation of how they are doing the investigation. We have Viv in 1982, and then we have Carly in 2017. But slowly they are mashing together both their stories and both their investigations, and it's getting like super interesting. If you love true crime and detective stories, you have to pick up this book because it's awesome. Finish Paperback Crush, a little light on the horror with last chapter, where I recommended this one. Yeah, I would like to check this one out. I would like to, because I wouldn't mind some recommendations of paperbacks from the 80s and the 90s that are not horror, because of course I already have paperbacks from hell. I love your reading sprints, and I think weekends are perfect for me. Oh, that's good. By the way, have you guys watched TV series Servant? I know the second season is start airing now. I've heard really good things about it, but I don't have access to it here. So that's the problem when you don't live somewhere where you have access to certain channels and things like that. So I have not been able to watch it, but if I ever can access it here in Germany, I would definitely check it out because I've heard amazing things about the show. For me, this year, I'm only hoping to get The Witcher season 2. I would like to see Stranger Things. And hopefully, at some point, we're going to get The Boys season 3. I love The Boys. If you have not watched The Boys, you have to watch it. It's an Amazon Prime exclusive. But that show is such a good take on superheroes, and it is based on an actual comic. And even people that don't love superhero stories absolutely love that show. It's very gory, and the humor is it's something else. It really pushes all the boundaries, but that show is amazing. Absolutely loved it. But yeah, there's so so many good shows that I currently don't have access to that I would really like to see. Also, The Stand, the latest adaptation of Stephen King. I really want to check it out. So I love Stranger Things and The Boys too. Yeah, those shows are amazing. Like, I was not ready for The Boys. Somebody said I had to watch it. So I gave it a try. And I was not ready for the first 10 minutes. I was already like sold. And I binged the 2 seasons and I absolutely loved it. It's just too good. The Boys is too good. Mindhunter is a great show if you love true crime. Yeah, I loved it. I was so sad that they canceled it. I was extremely disappointed because I loved it so much. But I want to read the book. I've never read the book, Mindhunter, so I think I'm gonna check it out. I mean, the way that they did um, the serial killers in that show, it's just so accurate. Like Ed Kemper was so accurate. It was just so good. Absolutely loved it. I really want to check out now the latest documentaries, the Cecil Hotel one, because I still have not been able to check it out because it's kind of long. And I'm so excited to check that one out because that is the hotel that inspired also American Horror Story Hotel. And I'm just like so excited to finally check it out. I haven't tried Mindhunters yet. You have to. The acting is amazing and the cast is just like the guy they took to portray Ed Kemper is just it's fantastic. Absolutely love it. If you like Mindhunter, try The Alienist. Ah, The Alienist. You see, I have that show on my Netflix watch list since it came out, and I never have watched it yet, but it's there on my list. And I'm always insecure to try it. I think it's because it's set in the 1800s and period pieces either work or don't work for me. So but I'm super curious because I also like the cast of that show. I think there's also a book, so sometimes I'm like, oh, should I read the book first, should I watch the show, and then I never do any of them. But yeah, there's too many good shows out there. um I will try it soon. I've been getting more into true crime types. Yeah, I just find them fascinating. I've binged nearly all the true crime related documentaries that there are on Netflix. There was I remember 1 month where I watched so many true crime documentaries on Netflix that I was scared the police was going to come and be like, "Ma'am, we have received an email from Netflix. Are you okay?" But yeah, I just find it just fascinating. I have the Alienist 2 books, but I haven't read it yet or tried it yet. Yeah, I think I saw the Alienist was a book, and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll read the book first. So I don't know. Mindhunter is super quick, so is the Alienist. Yeah, so many things to catch up with. I feel like I want to read more books based on true crime, both fiction and nonfiction, because it's something that I'm super fascinated about, and it's just so intriguing to me. And I need to get more books, both also nonfiction. The Boys was originally meant to be published by DC, but they copped out when they saw that they had what they had bought. Yeah, well, it's not really kid friendly or anything like that. It's really over the top. The second season has been wild. Like if you thought you had seen everything with the first season, no. The second season was like really intense, but I absolutely loved it. My favorite character is Billy the Butcher because I love him so much. And his dog. His dog is amazing. All right. It's 10 past, so we're gonna have 2 more sprints, I think. Yeah, 2 more sprints, and then I'm gonna go to Molly's reading sprints as well to see what they're doing, what they're talking over there. So let's do one more sprint on our end. All right, and I'll see you in 20 minutes, you guys. And that was another one. I am making progress. I am on page 246. So I'm hoping to really be able to finish this tonight. I have less than 100 pages left to go. So it's going to be done. It's going to get done tonight. That's the spirit. Penny Dreadful. It was so good. Another one that got canceled, and it was really disappointing because yeah, I got the comics. I actually went to the comic store and I asked to put them aside for me because I wanted to continue with the series. But I loved the show and the acting. It was great. Absolutely love it. That's one thing that you have a problem with, especially Netflix. They tend to cancel a lot of shows, so you're committing yourself to the show and then they just cancel it and then you're just left there with your tears. um and it sucks. They keep doing that. I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll get to see some nice new horror shows maybe. The situation right now, I don't know also how many new releases are gonna really come out this year, because I don't know about other countries, but most of Europe is also still in lockdown. So like the cinemas are closed in a lot of countries. So it's just like hard times for new releases, but I'm really craving some horror like Antlers and the new Candyman and of course the new Halloween Kills. Like I'm just waiting for all of these movies to come out. And I feel like I've been waiting since like 2019 for them, especially Antlers by Guillermo del Toro should have been out in, I think, February 2020 or around that time. And who knows when we will get it. I had to cook a bit, so put on first episode of Mindhunter on Echo Show in kitchen. Nice. Nice. I like that. It's a great show. I really hope that you enjoy it. I'm trying to wait for shows that are complete because so many things get canceled, but it's so hard not to watch. Yeah, it's hard because you get excited about all of these new things. And also in my other channel where I do movie reviews and stuff, I want to start reviewing also more TV shows because there are so many cool releases as well. I really did enjoy Ratchet. I think it's getting a second season. I really, really loved it, but because I like Ryan Murphy shows, the one of my favorites was the assassination of Gianni Versace. So good, so good. I absolutely loved it a lot. Um, so there are some. I really like limited series because those are complete. So there is no danger of getting them canceled. Like the Queen's Gambit, loved it. So, I try to go for those. I have kind of the same a little bit with books. I like to read series that are complete or standalones if I can. I I'm a little bit more scared to commit myself into really long series or series that have never been finished. It might be because I'm still sad about A Song of Ice and Fire. I read A Game of Thrones before the show started and I'm still waiting for the next book. So I also lost my trust on book series. And now I'm like, why if I commit to this book series and then they leave me here hanging for years and I don't know what's going to happen to these characters? Like, it's just mean. It's just mean. So, but also luckily, when it comes to the horror genre, there is not too many like big series or things like that. It's mostly standalones or maybe a trilogy or so, but it's mostly standalone, so that makes things easier for me. Um, but yeah, and for all of you that were not here yesterday or were not here at the beginning, I did not like this book, and I'm not going to continue with the series. I feel like if you enjoyed the Netflix show, you don't need this book. it just rubbed me the wrong way, the way that the characters act in this book. So I'm definitely not going to continue with that series, and I'm glad I didn't keep purchasing the books, because these books look so stunning. I love the color combination, and it has some like dark pages, and I wanted to keep collecting them, but I'm glad that I waited to read this book first, because I'm not going to continue. It's not going to happen. Oh, you're already 60 pages in Dark Carnival. Nice. It's a typical American small town setting. Think Daniel Woodwell or G.S. Brooklar. The shit just hit the fan. Nice. Though there's been no hints at horror so far. I do love stories about small town. The typical creepy people that are always happy, are always too nice to each other. I just love small town stories and all of the secrets and the darkness that it's inside there. There's something about small towns that make things creepier in a way that if you put, the same story in a big city. And I really enjoyed to see the also how shady people are in small towns sometimes. I do call myself from a very small town in Spain. So I've always experienced firsthand also how people talk behind each other's backs and things like that. And I hate that. And since I live in a big city, I feel so much happier that I don't have that small town kind of feeling that everybody's watching you anymore. Especially when you love horror and you're a little bit different and weird from everybody else, small towns, they can get really creepy. Let's drink a little bit more coffee because the night is young. I mean, it's 9:30 here for me, but until 12, until midnight, I am gonna be reading because I would like to finish as many things as possible. And we're gonna do one more sprint if you want, guys, if you have time. And we would do that then at 40 past, and that would be our last one if you're still up for it. If you're already have to go somewhere else, just let me know. Let me know. I love small town stories. I think because I grew up and live in a big city, I'm just fascinated by them. I think I might pick up Dark Carnival. Yeah, it's interesting because I come from a small town and I was happy to live in a big city, but now I find myself not wanting to live in the middle of the city because it's too noisy for me. So I'm kind of going back a little bit to the small town thing. Probably when I move to a house, it's going to be in a small town. I want to have some peace again. But yeah, I love especially thrillers that are set in small towns, or TV shows, because there's something, of course, special about everybody knowing everybody else's business. That's how trouble starts. So if you guys want, like I said, we're gonna do one more in like a minute, and after that I will disconnect here to go enjoy and join the other live, just to go get some food and just sit down and relax and watch Molly's live. But if you want, we can start a last 20 minutes and just get that last sprint in before we go. So if nobody is against it, I will put the last 20 minutes sprint in a minute, and then we can get it done. And I hope it's been helping you guys to get through a little bit of your reading tonight. Also, the reading sprints are great now that I'm basically mostly at home, because I get to connect with my bookish friends, which is also super nice. And I don't have many friends in real life that read books, so for me it's great also to connect with you guys through the lives. All right, let's do a last 20-minute sprint then, and after that we will call it a night. Let's do that. All right, I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Okay, how did that go? I did pretty well. I'm reading more or less like 20 pages every sprint now because this one is a bit slower. It always depends on the book how many pages I can get in a sprint. But now I have like not many pages left. I only have this little bit left. So it has to go down tonight. It has to go down tonight. I'm really loving it because now we're getting to the point where things are being finally revealed. Like you really have to wait to the last 100 pages until you start getting like concrete answers of what happened. Um, and so far, I'm still really enjoying it. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a four to a five, maybe for me. Once I finish, there's still the fourth category. Love is short and a big pen. Athartes Ellen for Suspiria. Yeah, Argento is great. I love his movies. He's very unique, and I really love him. I still have one in Blu-ray that I haven't watched. I don't remember what it was, but it was about a card killer or something like that. I'm not sure how the name was, but that's one of the ones that I still have not watched from Dario Argento. I really want to watch it. For short, the read I picked Fangs, which I read yesterday, and I also read this one as one of the short reads. So I have now all of my challenges covered. Um, yeah. So basically, I'm just gonna keep reading tonight out of fun. Still not reading and getting some stuff done, but back to the book soon. At least you all got me hooked on a new show. Awesome. That's okay. You can just watch Mindhunter. Like, no hard feelings. The books are going to be there, but that show is addictive. It's good. It's good. I've reached halfway point, so I'll probably finish it off tonight. That's awesome. I really hope that you finish it tonight as well. I mean, until midnight, it's still officially the 48 hours, so you can still squeeze it in. Maybe, depending on, what time you have where you live. For me, it's already 10. So, I have to rush a little bit now. But like I said, I did fulfill all the challenges already. So I'm just now finishing up some reads that I had. Like this one, I was supposed to finish this on Friday, but I didn't have time. So I just finished it during the EVILATHon. And if I finish this one, I have another one that I'm in the middle of. So I'll just try to read as much as I can until 12. And I will also watch my Bloody Valentine, the remake with Jensen Ackles, whom I love. So, oh, it's only 4 p.m. for you. Yeah, you have time, girl. You have time. For me, it's getting close to the end line. And I've been trying to vlog a little bit as well, what I've been reading and my thoughts, so that that video will probably go up this week. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun. I hope you got some reading done or some productivity, whichever it was for you. And I do want to come up with a schedule to do this like once or twice a month and try to make it always the same day, maybe, so that it's better for everybody to plan. And try to make it around this time so that everybody's at least awake around the globe. So maybe I will do it like once or twice on maybe on a Saturday or on a Friday, like in a day where I don't have to work the next day. Because if it gets really late, then I have to wake up early for work. So maybe Fridays or Saturdays. Maybe I'll do some polls on Twitter, see when it's best for you guys. But thank you so much for coming, everybody that came, that showed up, that read with me a little bit, that asked me questions, that gave me recommendations of any sort. Super appreciated, and I had a lot of fun. So whenever I do the next one, I will make sure to let you guys know on Twitter. That's what I always announce, any lives or anything that's coming like that. So if you don't follow me on Twitter yet, the Twitter handle should be down below, but it's Kasha Wonderland. Um, I have tomorrow off, and I'm positive to read all books I wanted to read. I have tomorrow, I still have to work, and I have a dentist appointment. Great. Hate it, but we got to get it done. But tomorrow, I'm probably going to start some new books that I have to read for the month of February. But I'm glad that I was able to catch up on the lives yesterday and today. And I'm still going to be reading over now on Molly's channel. I'm just going to join in the comments and do more reading sprints by myself, feed the cats, and all of those things. So I wish everybody a great rest of the day, whichever time it is where you leave. Thank you so much all for coming. And I will see you next time, either in the next live or in our next coffee time, you guys. I'll see you. Bye, guys.